mother is brutally attacked.
This is not sex. It's a violent crime by a despicable human being.
The suspect did match over 20 cases that I had reviewed. We're dealing with a serial rapist.
With a predator on the loose, no one is safe.
Just and was just vicious.
He's exactly the reason why the police are required to exist.
This person's calculating and has planned this all out.
It's up to Lieutenant Joe Kenda to hunt this monster and put him down.
Somebody like this will increase the violence or increase the numbers. We need to stop that from happening. Something I learned a long time ago: don't ever judge people based on their appearance or their physical size. Humans are all capable of enormous levels of violence, given the proper motivation.
It's a beautiful morning in Colorado Springs. And for new mother Julie Smith, all seems right with the world.
It's warmer, it's brighter, it elicits a sense of common happiness.
Her husband had just left for work. Her baby was sleeping in the house.
She was going into the bathroom to put her makeup on.
Everything is good. Everything. And then a split second later, it's not.
If you scream or even move, I will kill your baby.
Very young mother. No, please don't. As she is being dragged out,
Shut up!
is thinking in her head, I can't let my baby be hurt.
Across town, Lieutenant Joe Kenda is working an unusually gruesome crime scene.
So what we got? Expired mail, gunshot to the head. Brother-in-law found him like this. Thinks it was self-inflicted.
Suicide, looking at a dead body.
We have a report.
When I overheard on the radio a 911 call,
Home invasion and sexual assault at 143 Crown Boulevard. Suspect has fled the area.
She's his third one this week. It's nuts.
you hear something like that over the air, and it's disturbing.
As the lieutenant in charge of the Major Crimes Division, Kenda has more than a passing interest.
Dispatch, this is Kenda. Can you send a crime scene tech to meet the first responder?
There are a number of units within Major Crimes for which I'm responsible. There is the Homicide Unit, there is the Assault Unit, the Fugitive Division, and the Sex Crimes Unit.
Dispatch, can you alert Detective Megan Jewell to go to the hospital and wait for the victim?
She'll be alerted immediately.
10-4, Kenda out.
As for Kenda, he opts to remain at the scene of this potential homicide.
Often, why aren't you at every crime scene? Because I can't be. There's only one of me. If I never slept and I never went home, I still couldn't go to every crime.
In a city the size of Colorado Springs, Kenda relies on the Sex Crimes Unit to investigate a large number of heinous cases.
Sexual assaults are major crimes. So like homicide, it involves detectives who have specialties, who can understand these crimes.
Sexual assault, a lot of people think it's a really rare crime, but it really actually happens a lot more commonly than we'd like to believe.
At that time in Colorado Springs, we had 200 events a year, one every couple days, and that is what's reported. How many actually occurred? I have no idea.
Moments later, patrol officers begin scanning the area for the rapist.
Pedestrians, anybody running through backyards. They're looking at people in cars they pass.
Hey, license registration.
They're on full alert.
Police! Hello, ma'am. Did you call 911?
Patrol Officer Clark is the first to make contact with the victim.
Julie Smith, a 19-year-old female, She's, of course, traumatized and she's in shock.
Ma'am, is your child okay?
Yes, he didn't touch her.
Where is she now?
She's safe. I didn't want her to see any more of this.
Through it all, this young mother had the capacity and the strength to make sure that a neighbor came in and took care of the child.
They ask her, what did this person look like?
I've never seen him before. He was 20, maybe 30 years old.
She describes him as African American. He's muscular.
He was wearing a mask.
What else was he wearing?
Gloves and Army PT gear.
In the military, PT is referred to as physical training. The Army provides enlisted personnel and officers with PT gear, generally a t-shirt, a pair of shorts, and or sweatpants, depending upon time of year.
Officer Clark immediately calls in the suspect description.
10-4, we take the description as follows. Black male, 5'7", muscular build.
With such a vague description.
Ski mask with white around the eyes.
Ultimately, you don't know anything about him. This in itself is the maddening feature of investigating sexual assault. The officer's next concern is the physical well-being of this woman. They transport her to a hospital in an ambulance.
Kenda requests a sex crimes detective meet Julie Smith at the hospital and instructs CSIs to begin processing the crime scene.
Like most sexual assault scenes, there's no physical evidence of value to be found. The bed's been disturbed. Well, of course it is. An attack took place on that bed. So at the end of the day, you have little or nothing to go on. Beyond the fact you're looking for a guy in a ski mask. It's not helpful.
Kenda is in the thick of what is shaping up to be a suicide investigation, rather than a homicide.
Sir, Officer Clark for you.
Thanks.
When officers call with an update.
Kenda, what do you got? It appears our victim was home alone, door unlocked.
Whenever our suspect gained entry and attacked her.
How did he know he wasn't going to come through the door, finding the husband cleaning a handgun? He knows because he watches the husband leave. He knows she's alone. It's not a random attack. It's surveillance.
Is there anything else out of the ordinary? While the suspect was here, apparently went through her purse and her jewelry box.
Our victims advised that the suspect has made off with her wedding band and her engagement ring.
10-4, keep me updated. Ken down.
That's odd. It is a rare thing for a rapist to also steal property. He's not there for that purpose.
Meanwhile, at the hospital, Julie Smith has undergone a forensic exam to collect DNA evidence.
Julie, I'm Detective Joy now, but I need to ask you a few questions, okay? Okay.
That's difficult, and it's traumatizing to even ask the questions, but it's necessary. We will try to be as sensitive as we can to the victim, but ultimately our mission is to find this person and arrest them.
At any time, can you remember if he removed his ski mask? He might have. I don't know.
Shut up. She says,
Get up.
He throws her face down on the bed.
If you scream or even move, I will kill you and I will kill your baby.
He puts a pillow over her head. She saw a knife in his hand. She was terrified. He sexually assaulted her.
Can you remember anything else? He took my ring off. He told me not to move it. I was paralyzed.
He rummaged around in the bedroom for a couple of minutes, and he disappeared.
And I didn't hear anything. I wasn't sure if he was still in there or not. So.
She was so devastated by this attack that she didn't move for a number of minutes. She wasn't certain he had left. She got off the bed, she checked her baby, then she called 911.
Do you have any idea how he may have gotten into your home? was just such a nice day outside. So I left the door open. Julie, none of this is your fault, okay? None of this. You did nothing wrong.
This is a crime, a terrible felony. Open. It's him. It has nothing to do with you.
I'm gonna let you rest, okay? Thank you.
This all culminates with one thing. She has to go home again. It cuts at the basic core of who an individual is. It takes away dignity, comfort, and it forever leaves you where you don't trust.
Detective Megan Jewell meets with Kenda to discuss the case.
The one thing that bothers me is why this guy steal the jewelry in the first place.
I agree. That's not typical behavior.
The thing is, there was another sexual assault with a robbery earlier this week. Do you have that report?
I do.
Prior to this event, there were 2 other cases, less than an hour apart, where an African-American male had attacked 2 women in their homes.
The assailant heard a noise and he ran.
And the other one's right afterwards in the same neighborhood.
In the second case, a woman is putting her key into her apartment door. When she's grabbed from behind, he rapes her and he takes some checks out of her checkbook and $17 in cash. What became upsetting to me when I began to read it was the method was the same.
You know, come to think of it, I think a couple of detectives, they were working the same kind of cases last year.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Can you give me every one of those cases?
Yes, sir.
I am becoming alarmed. We're dealing with a serial rapist. I can feel it in my bones. You're working a case involving a 19-year-old girl named Julie Smith who's been assaulted in her home. There were a number of other cases in the recent past that have a similar look to these cases. To have a pattern rapist is rare and scary.
Eager to get this monster off the streets, Kenda assigns the entire sex crimes unit to the case.
I tell my detectives to pull every case in the last year that have a similar MO and a similar suspect. Doesn't have to be the same, just has to be similar.
Lieutenant, what should we focus on for the MO?
Well, I'm not 100% sure. We'll look for a robbery component and a knife, and we'll take it from there, see if there's more of a pattern.
Suspects use a modus operandi, or MO, not because they're intelligent or clever. In a case of sexual assault, the crime has nothing to do with sexual gratification. It's about the punishment of women.
All right, let's research. Any similarities, you find them, you bring them to me. Thanks, people.
With no time to lose, the team begins digging into the more than 200 sexual assault reports filed in the past year.
Find the common thread and throw it in the pile. It may not be one we keep, but if there's any doubt in your mind, throw it in the pile.
Find several cases that fit the bill.
I've got this stack of sexual assault cases. I find 9 cases from November of 1990 to February of 1991 that I believe are connected. They're attacked at their residence. As they're coming home, as they're in their home, he throws them on a bed face down. And he always says the same thing.
Don't scream. Don't move. If you fight me, I will kill you.
Now I have 3 others, so that makes 12. And we're not done yet.
The attacks ran north up to everything about east of Circle Drive, so you can pick up on a pattern fairly fast. Now, to identify the suspect, that's harder.
But detectives aren't out of luck just yet.
Lieutenant, I have a report here where the victim was able to get a glimpse of the guy's face.
Well, that's excellent. Can we see if we can get her in here to do a composite drawing?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
The victim in question meets with Kenda's forensic artist to create a sketch of her attacker.
Is there anything about him that stood out the most?
He had kind of a pronounced forehead. It was sort of bulging.
Okay.
In the early 90s, it was artistry. It was pencil drawing. It was a guy putting together a face, having a victim adjusted as they went.
Did he have any facial hair?
Yeah, he had a mustache.
Was it thin, thick?
It was sort of thin, like a...
Very challenging thing to have a victim describe in detail the face of a person they believe is a monster that nearly killed them.
Wow, that's him.
Do I need to do anything else to it?
No, that's definitely him. I'll never forget that face.
What was great about that is they had something to go to the community with. And that's where a sketch artist is just invaluable.
So now we have...
With the clock ticking and a sexual predator still on the loose, Kenda goes public with the information his team has collected.
Police have several suspects, but think this is their man. He's about 5'8", stocky, black, has chubby cheeks, and wears gray sweats and black gloves.
We're not in the business of causing panic among the general public, but we also have an obligation to warn people that we have this event going on.
A standing room crowd gathered at the serial rapist in their neighborhood.
It's very obvious that this person is calculating and has planned this all out.
They called him the East Side Rapist. It was something that put everybody on edge, especially those who lived on the East Side.
At these apartments...
Of course, the headline becomes East Side Rapist on the loose. Police are baffled.
Kenda also asks the chief of police to increase the number of squad cars patrolling the East Side. Doesn't bring any promising leads in the East Side Rapist case. However, it has one very positive side effect.
There were no other reports of a rape.
Is it stopping because he's afraid now? That people are more aware of the fact he exists? Or are women more afraid to come forward because they're victims and the pattern hasn't stopped? We don't know the answer to that. So a few days pass.
Please, you gotta help me. He's in my house.
And 7 o'clock in the morning, 911 gets a phone call from a frantic female.
He's in my house, please. Please hurry.
Is this the same guy? Is this somebody else? It's certainly possible that our monster has awakened. We are in the process of investigating a pattern of sexual assault. When all of a sudden...
Please, you gotta help me. He's in my house.
The phone rings, and here we go again.
Patrol Officer Richard Radabaugh is the first to arrive on the scene.
We all knew about the East Side Rapist. The general description fit, the time fit, and the location fit. So you couldn't help but think that it was the same guy.
Police! What's going on?
He's still inside. He just tried to rape my sister. He ran back in my bedroom and slammed the door.
Where's your bedroom?
Right there.
Okay, you ladies stay right there.
Officer, be careful. He has a knife.
He's looking for anybody that might actually be there, hiding in this place. He announces out on the air, suspect is cleared. I have 2 victims I'm about to talk to.
So what happened?
Well, I was sleeping, and I felt someone get into bed with me.
Emily Davis is very, very distressed and can't wait to speak to the officer.
My boyfriend, he works nights and comes home in the morning, so I thought it would be him. Jimmy, stop. I have to go to work soon.
But then she looked in a mirror, and she could see that it was this individual. Stop. If you move, you scream, I will kill you.
He tried to put a pillow over her. She fought him off with all of her strength, with him in hot pursuit.
What the hell is going on?
And that's when her sister was standing there.
She made direct eye contact with him, and he is not wearing a mask.
I
saw him, but he froze when he saw me.
Do you normally stay here?
No, I'm just in town visiting for a couple days.
It seemed that really surprised this perpetrator. There's 2 women in this apartment, not one. We have a failure of surveillance, don't we?
So what's this guy look like?
He was muscular.
He was a black male, about 5'7", 5'8", 190 pounds.
He had an army shirt on.
Clothes. This says Army across the chest. PT gear.
He had a thin mustache and a pretty prominent forehead.
So, like a receding hairline?
Yeah.
Radabaugh instantly knows this is the guy.
Not only does Radabaugh believe the Eastside rapist has struck again, he's positive the description matches another man he's looking for, an armed robbery suspect.
Of a robbery suspect at some convenience store.
He puts 2 and 2 together. That's the guy in that picture. Or if it isn't, it's certainly a guy that looks like him.
Okay, let me get a picture out of my car. I may know who this guy is.
Could the Eastside rapist and the robbery suspect be one and the same?
They were able to identify the suspect from that surveillance photo as the same person who attempted to sexually assault.
That is a good witness.
Back at headquarters, Kenda pulls the report from the convenience store robbery.
This African-American male walks into this Vickers gas station, dressed in Army PT gear.
Hey, can I get a pack of menthols?
Sure, anything else?
No, that's it.
She rings up the sale,
$3.25.
and when the cash drawer opens, he pulls a knife and demands all the money in the drawer.
Now! Come on, hurry up! Hurry up! Come on, it's in bed. Let's go. Get around the corner. Get in there! Get in there! Get in the bathroom! Get in there!
And he runs with a total of $140 US. What does our guy have? He has a knife. What's our guy wear? Army PT gear. What's he look like? He has a bulge. That is him.
Now, all Kenda needs is a name.
If he's wearing Army PT gear, it's entirely possible he's active duty Army. So we go to Fort Carson, contact CID.
How you doing?
Good, sir.
Which is the major investigative arm of the military police.
I'm Lieutenant Kenda from the Colorado Springs Police Department. I need to speak with the commanding officer about a criminal matter.
Yes.
The MPs would help you. You'd show them the picture. They would just go to every barracks, battalion headquarters, whatever, and go, where's this guy?
I want to know if this guy is in your Army, because we're going to give him a new job of making license plates.
The MPs at Fort Carson distribute the perpetrator's photo to every first sergeant on the base. It doesn't take long to flush out a suspect.
Miss Kenda.
Later that day, I get a call that says an African-American male just walked into police headquarters and says he robbed a Vickers gas station and he wants to confess. How convenient. Mr. X might have just walked in the front door. So we've been chasing a ghost who the press has named the Eastside Rapist. A gas station is robbed by someone who is perhaps the same guy, and he wants to confess. We are presented with Mr. Benedict Jackson. He is 32 years of age, and he is an active duty sergeant in the United States Army.
While Kenda watches through a two-way mirror, Detective Sheldon Schneezy questions Mr. Jackson about the convenience store robbery.
Look, I did the robbery, and I've regretted it every day since, son.
At first, he seemed very willing to talk. It was almost like he wanted to get it off of his chest.
My girlfriend had a baby not too long ago, and we needed diapers. And I was between paychecks, so I was desperate. And I'm truly sorry about it, but it was like a loan. I tried to give the money back to the clerk, but it was too little too late.
As if that was going to make all of this go away.
Don't arrest me. I cannot get kicked out of the Army. I have a family to feed.
Detective Schneezy doesn't bring up the string of sexual assaults Kenda's team is investigating, but he does have one last request for his suspect.
We'd like to get a blood sample.
Yes, anything I can do to help.
Okay. In 1991, very few people even knew about DNA evidence. So he submits, because...
After officers collect a blood sample from Mr. Jackson, Kenda decides it's time to play hardball with him.
Lieutenant Kenda, do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Sure. I have nothing to hide at this point.
We're thinking we'll ask him about these women who've been raped. And maybe we'll get lucky.
We're actually investigating the rape of several women. And right now, you're our number one suspect.
What? I didn't do anything. Anyone that's telling you otherwise is...
Women, and the minute we say rape, Mr. Jackson becomes a different person.
Well, right now we have your DNA. And we're going to try and match that up with the DNA we take off the victims.
And that same look of shock comes over his face. What? What's DNA? Oh, you'll find out, Benedict. It's quite interesting.
When I'm not on duty, I'm with my girlfriend, Patricia Hayes. Just speak to her. She always knows where I am.
Sure. Come.
While Benedict Jackson is escorted to the El Paso County Detention Center, Kenda sets out to question Jackson's girlfriend.
We go find Patricia Hayes.
You guys think he's raping women.
She is totally shocked that we would even consider that Benedict Jackson is a criminal of any kind. He couldn't commit a sexual assault. He's a loving, endearing parent, father, boyfriend.
Man, we have both a witness and a victim.
Those women are wrong. I'm with him all the time.
You're with him all day, every day?
Yeah, except when he goes to PT. How long you gonna be?
I'll be back before you get here.
All right. I'll see you soon.
See you.
Have a good day.
You too.
How long has he gone?
About an hour and a half.
For a couple hours a day every day. So you don't exactly know where he is all the time, do you? When I say that, there is a change that comes over her.
After speaking with Patricia Hayes, Kenda returns to headquarters, where he and his team review the evidence against Benedict Jackson.
Get this, we went back to Fort Carson and got Benedict Jackson's records for signing in and out of the base for all of last year.
And everyone he was en route to or from his home.
He resides in the approximate geographic epicenter of where these crimes have taken place. What's more convenient to conduct surveillance than do so within steps of your own front door?
It's extremely damning because you could logistically plan his route from Fort Carson back to where he lived and locate the other victims.
23 total victims that we believe Jackson was responsible for.
Yet, they didn't have the hard evidence to hold him or probable cause to get him arrested.
The only two people we have who can identify him are the two sisters that say it's him. Juries have difficulty with physical identifications by victims. I need more, and this can work.
But analyzing Jackson's blood sample, along with the rape kit, will take time. In 1991, there's just one lab in the entire United States equipped to process them. The FBI Crime Lab in Quantico, Virginia. Given the volume of requests the lab receives, it could take a year for Jackson's sample to be processed.
Resources are limited. They were overwhelmed with requests. And you take a number, please. And so we did.
In the meantime, Benedict Jackson's armed robbery case goes to court.
The judge reviewed his case. Mr. Jackson was repentant. He tried to give the money back, which is true. He did do that. He was given probation and released into the community.
With no additional charges pending against him, Benedict Jackson remains a free man.
That is a terrible thing.
Things in terms of the East Side rapist case turned a little quiet.
He knows he's being watched, so he's being a good boy.
But 6 months later, the East Side rapist strikes again.
At 1 o'clock in the morning, a woman reports that she was attacked. This time, patrol officers report there's blood on the floor, a clump head. It seems, certainly on the surface, the East Side rapist has struck again. And this time he's not afraid to use that knife. It seemed in a period of 9 months that our perpetrator had taken a break from terrorizing the city, and that all changed the morning of May 6th when a woman called the police.
She's pretty distraught.
And said she needed help.
The woman is 45-year-old Caroline Jones.
Caroline, Lieutenant Kenda.
The woman's being treated for superficial cuts to the face, head, and chest.
I know you've been through a lot tonight, but I really need your help to find out who did this to you. Can you tell me what happened?
I was out of cigarettes, so I went out to my car to get a pack.
She decided couldn't do it.
She came back to her apartment, started to shut her door when...
If you scream, I will kill you.
And with a knife in his left hand, cut her face, her throat, her chest several times with the knife.
He even cut my hair.
Sometimes your serial rapist will cut the hair or take a piece of jewelry, and this is known as a trophy. That way, later on, they can look at it and get excited again by what they did.
What ultimately saved her was that there was noise from another apartment, and that scared him.
So rape never took place.
I'm sorry this happened to you. We're going to catch the guy that did it. Thank you.
What was upsetting was that the attacker took it to the next level. He not only had the knife, but he used it.
With him back in action, an anxious Detective Schneezy checks back in with the FBI crime lab.
Good morning. This is Detective Schneezy again. Any progress on those DNA samples?
He was escalating, and we needed to find him.
The analyst in Quantico delivers him the good news.
What? A 1 in 2 million chance he's not the rapist?
The FBI positively identified Benedict Jackson's DNA as sexual assault cases.
That's excellent news. Thank you.
I was excited. I had been working these cases day in and day out. We're going to be able to get a serial rapist off the street.
Police, open up! Open up!
No dice, Benedict. You gotta come out.
I do not go opening the door when somebody tells me come in. He could have a gun just waiting for us to open the door and shoot us.
Put your hands up. Walk out. Walk out.
All right, let's get a thorough search of his apartment and vehicle. You notice anything, let me know immediately.
But somewhat emotional, almost like he was ready to cry.
That afternoon, Kenda and Detective Schneezy re-interview Benedict Jackson.
Look, I don't know where you're getting all this stuff from, but I didn't rape anyone. This DNA stuff must be a mistake.
We would go through each case by case, but he wouldn't actually say he did the sexual assault.
The only way you can help yourself now is if you start talking.
At one point, they interrupted us regarding the searching of his apartment.
All right, thank you. Benedict, you might want to know. They found a bloody army t-shirt in your closet, and they found your ski mask, the one with the white around the eyes, in your car.
Still want to call this a mistake?
You found the mask. You found everything.
Now you're under arrest for rape.
Between the physical evidence, the incident reports, and Jackson's own incriminating statements, Kenda can now piece together the pattern of events. Jackson was transferred to Fort Carson 2 years earlier.
He's like a guy that you'd have in your neighborhood. I mean, he's in the military, has a girlfriend and kids, probably lives a respectable life.
And yet he commits these horrible crimes of violence against women. He targeted his victims not based upon their appearance or their age or anything else. They were victims based on conviction.
He would follow her until he could find out where she lived, stalk her, and find out what her habits were, and just wait for the right time.
Kenda believes that by stalking women in the neighborhood, Benedict determined when they would be home alone. And when the time was right, he'd enter their homes and attack.
Had we not found him identified, there was no doubt in my mind he was going to continue this crime on and on until he starts to kill.
At trial, several victims testify against Benedict Jackson. He is ultimately found guilty of 8 counts of rape and 1 count of attempted rape. Jackson receives the lengthiest prison sentence in Colorado history, 598 years.
And he had nothing to say beforehand. This apparent lack of remorse is part of the reason the judge gave Jackson the maximum sentence.
There's absolutely no hope for rehabilitation for this individual.
The prosecution had asked for the maximum sentence and was happy with the ruling.
This predator is now in prison for the rest of his life, and Colorado Springs is safer for it.
But as Benedict Jackson is carted off to prison, new information suggests there may be...
The prosecutors determined, in their opinion, there were 100 other cases in Colorado he was likely responsible for, and 21 cases in Germany.
Even though this first trial is over, allegations against Jackson continue. The military is investigating 21 alleged rapes that happened while Jackson was in the Army and stationed in Germany.
He's destroyed more lives than any of us will ever know.
But thanks to the predator known as the East Side Rapist is off the streets and behind bars forever.
Those women should be viewed as heroes. They had enough bravery that they sat there in that stand with him staring at them and said their story. They prevented this from happening to anybody else.
I would encourage anyone who is a survivor who's wanting support to reach out to your local crisis, holding perpetrators accountable as a community. You don't have to go through this process alone.
It was immensely gratifying that we removed somebody from the street who was incredibly dangerous. He's exactly the reason why the police are required to exist. He is a predator, and predators have to be put down.
A random act of terror claims a young life and leaves a city on edge.
Advice was to kill an individual.
The worst kind of criminal is a bomber. He doesn't care who he kills.
It's up to Detective Joe Kenda to stop the mayhem before more innocent lives are lost.
The boys were not the intended victims.
To bring this madman to justice, Kenda must pinpoint the real target of his rage.
It's very difficult to say why conspiracies fall apart, but they always do. Somebody always comes forward. What's more important to you, your loyalty to your friend or your own life?
In Colorado Springs, Sundays are normally reserved for peace and quiet.
Many people may be off in the mountains doing their hiking or just...
For small business owner Barry Upwater, his empty office is a welcome opportunity to catch up on paperwork.
He didn't think much of it because it was just boys. And he went about doing what he does. So imagine being in your business on a Sunday afternoon and this happens. looks like soot, could be blood. His arms are out. What do you do?
Oh my God! Are you okay? Are you okay? You hurt?
My brother's in there.
This young man's older brother, he had been hit by the blast of the explosion.
Meanwhile, on the outskirts of town, Detective Joe Kenda is spending some quality time with his family.
Right here.
This is early in my career. 1977. I was a homicide detective. I was not a supervisor or a boss.
Here, let me show you. All right, when you hold it, try and put your fingers on the strings. Twist your wrist when you throw.
Try it again.
Just as Kenda's son makes his best throw yet,
I'm better.
His special moment is interrupted.
Hey, Joe.
What is it we're playing?
Joe, it's the office.
Hello? Yes?
His face drops. He's 7 years old, and he's looking at me like I'm a Nazi war criminal because I'm leaving him in this front yard. It pains me.
The dispatcher fills Kenda in on the tragedy unfolding across town.
We got a 13-year-old kid killed in an explosion, and my eyes go to my own son, and I'm thinking, I don't even want to see this. Children hurt worse than anything else?
I'm sorry, buddy. Something bad's happened. I gotta go see if I can help. I'll make it up to you. I promise.
"20 minutes later, Kenda arrives at what looks more like a war zone than a crime scene.
There's still smoke rising from the area of the dumpster. There are fire trucks there, an ambulance, medical people.
You have to check for any injuries of a civilian to make sure no one else gets hurt.
Hey, Joe. Bill? So what's going on? So this place is a waste management facility. The explosion went off by one of their dumpsters. Bomb techs are trying to figure out now what caused it.
We did have bomb squad members on scene. There were not that many explosions in Colorado Springs, so that was kind of an unusual call in that respect.
They said there was a child?
Yeah, a little boy. Got him covered up over there.
They've identified this child as Daniel Carson. He's 13 years old.
The victim is a 7th grader at Carmel Junior High School, where he excelled at both academics and sports.
When a child is a victim of a violent crime, they flash in front of you. It's like having a nightmare when you're awake.
But the size of the sheet covering young Daniel leaves
went off in his hands.
Oh, God.
His little bro, little lucky kid. He only got some shrapnel.
Lucky and unlucky.
Children don't understand death. They don't think it's final. They are distraught, and you can't fix it.
Do you mind going down and talking to his mom? He's sitting down there with a fire truck. And, I'll take care of this up here and talk to the bomb techs.
Sure, no problem.
Thank you.
Mrs. Carson?
Yeah.
She is still in shock from it.
I want to be able to help you as much as I can. But is it okay if I speak with your son?
This young man lost his brother. And so we're expecting a lot from this little body and this little mind.
It's okay, Mom. For sure. Oh. We were just playing in the lot.
And then we noticed the dumpsters.
Dude! Going up!
He and his brother Daniel were collecting aluminum cans. They always did this to make a little extra money. They would sell them for their refuse value.
According to John, as he and Daniel sifted through the rubbish, something caught their attention.
We found 2 boxes. They were each like this big.
So about a foot long?
Yeah, I think they were ammo boxes. Where are they?
They didn't know what they were.
Whoa, those look cool.
So they pulled them out from under the dumpster, he and his brother. They were identical.
Let's see what's inside.
So his brother Daniel said, I'm going to open this one. And John told him, maybe you shouldn't do that.
Don't be a wuss. I don't know how to get into it.
Daniel, put it down.
And that was that moment where everything changed for that family's life.
Daniel opens this ammo can.
Can you tell me what you remember?
I just remember.
Kenda is heartbroken by the story, but he must get as much information as possible from John Carson before the young man is transported to the hospital.
Now, John, this is very important. You said there were 2 of those metal boxes?
Yeah, 2 of them.
And did the other one explode as well?
And that makes everyone stop and think. 1 box exploded. What will the second box do?
Hey! There's no box to bomb!
Is it designed to detonate when police begin their investigation? Or, worse than that, is it now unstable because of the discharge of the other device?
Everybody clear out!
So you have this other complication of a second detonation that could kill somebody else. So we immediately move everybody back. Then a bomb tech gets on a bomb suit. Will it save his life? Maybe. It's certainly better than nothing.
Okay, good deal. You know the procedure. Take it easy.
Close to the area to survey. What he's looking for is detonation wires, tripwires, and so on.
So here we have police officers going in to personally see if that's a box that will explode when they touch it.
Open it and see what's inside.
It's a very tense time. You're half expecting to hear another explosion. We have 2 kid brothers that are looking for tin cans, and they find a bomb.
Daniel, put it down.
The survivor reports there could be a second box, indicating the presence of another device.
The CSPD bomb squad is charged with the nerve-wracking task of defusing the second bomb.
Looks like I have an ammo can with dynamite and a grenade fusing system inside. There's a string attached to the spoon release.
10-4. Take it easy, open it, and see what's inside.
Typical.
We use certain different types of devices, rendering it safe. I cannot discuss.
You don't know what's going to happen here, and it's very distressing.
device from the ammo can. The bomb tech carefully disassembles the spoon mechanism on the fusing system.
I got it. We'll give the all clear.
Roger, all clear. So what do you think? It's a homemade bomb?
It's definitely homemade. Whoever made it's got access to military explosives, and they know how to work with them.
Based on my own experience, the worst kind of criminal is a bomber. He doesn't care who he kills.
They'd taken a hash to the end of that box, and then there was a pound and a half of military TNT in the box that had blasting caps attached to both and hooked to the fusing system.
In the bottom was melted wax and all sorts of metal parts to create shrapnel. So it propels these forward, resulting in the same effect as if you had a gigantic shotgun.
And yeah, who else would have access to a grenade and dynamite?
So the next question is obvious. Who is our bomber trying to kill? Obviously, it's not to kill two young boys who randomly showed up that morning to collect cans.
Kenda takes a look around, contemplating possible intended targets.
Could this be revenge? Somebody who's unhappy with Upwater sanitation, need to die.
To answer those questions, Kenda starts with the owner himself, Barry Upwater.
Mr. Upwater?
Yes, that's me. He is very distressed about this entire event.
I'm Detective Kenda. Do you think of anyone that might want to harm you or your business?
And he said, well, I did fire a guy named Frederick Boyles.
I felt bad about it. He was just making mistakes and not responding to our training. But I felt like we parted okay.
Being let go at Upwater, Frederick Boyles decided to get even.
Sometimes people fester. Frederick Boyles certainly would have some motive to be vengeful.
Any idea where I can find this guy?
Yeah, I'm sure I've got his address on file in the office.
Everything begins with a first step, and Mr. Boyles is going to be our first step.
That evening, Kenda and 14645 Picturesque Drive.
Can I help you?
We're looking for a Frederick Boyles. We were wondering if he lived here by chance.
Who's asking?
Colorado Springs PD.
I don't know any Frederick Boyles.
She's absolutely lying, and there's no question in my mind she's lying.
This guy? Well, maybe you haven't heard of a Frederick Boyles. You have heard of obstruction of justice?
Yeah, I know this man.
Excuse me? So now a red flag launches into the air. We have a man with more than one identity. What's that about?
Rick.
And here comes Rick Coons, a.k.a. Frederick Boyles. He looks rattled and embarrassed.
Do you guys want to come in? I can explain.
And what they soon learned is the difference in the two names was a matter of being able to rent a home.
The owner of this apartment complex disapproves of people who aren't married living together.
Well, we lied to him and told him that we were already married. My girl's last name is Coons, so I told him my name is Rick Coons.
He has an explanation, as bizarre as it may sound.
Kenda isn't concerned about Frederick Boyle if Frederick had the motive and the materials to build a pair of deadly bombs.
So, how long did you serve in the United States Army? And he says, well, I was never in the Army. Do you know anybody in the Army? No. No, I don't.
Did you hear what happened at Upwater Sanitation earlier today? The explosion was all over the news.
I used to work there? What happened?
Why don't you first explain to us why you were terminated from the company?
The ultimate mistake was he, under this truck, and decided to continue on his route. The transmission leak got worse, and it seized the engine of the truck. And it cost the company a fortune to repair the vehicle.
Barry could have taken the money out of my check. But instead, he just let me go.
That was very generous of him.
He's a good man. He even helped me find another job, one where I don't drive.
So, There's nothing here that says he's our bomb military. He had no ill feelings toward Barry Upwater. His bizarre story about his identity is neither here nor there. You can be Captain America if you choose to be. It's a free country.
With this once promising lead now a dead end, Kenda and one of his fellow detectives return to the station to put their heads together. But as the detectives discuss their next move, a new lead presents.
The guy has walked into the front lobby of the police station, whose name is Robert Husher. He's a former employee of Upwater Sanitation. He knows about those bombs, and he's a former military guy. Oh my. This is almost too good to be true. Investigating at this point the murder of a 13-year-old child by an explosive device that's homemade. We have a person named Robert Husher, the former employee of Upwater Sanitation. He knows about this.
Robert Husher, correct?
Yes, that's me.
I hear you have some information about the bombing that happened earlier.
Yeah, I'm over at Upwater every week.
I thought you said you didn't work there anymore.
He would put his garbage in the dumpster in front of Upwater Sanitation routinely. So a few days before this explosion, he notices two under the dumpster. He thought they might make toolboxes. He looks at it and realizes the bottom has been cut out of it. And he just thought it wouldn't suit his purposes. And he left.
Robert Husher explains that when the deadly explosion at Upwater Sanitation became the talk of the town, he put two and two together.
I think that those boxes were used as the bombs.
Lucky for you. The kid who touched him wasn't so lucky.
Kenda wonders if Robert Husher, like former colleague Frederick Boyles, might have built the two bombs as payback for being fired from Upwater.
What if he's trying to explain the presence of his fingerprints on the device that didn't explode? And he is involved in this.
Well, I appreciate your willingness to come in. Would you also be willing to take a lie detector test as well?
A lie detector?
Thinking I could go to prison, he just began to unravel the nerves. And that's something that a lie detector test doesn't like.
Oh, you don't like a polygraph, Mr. Husher? How come? What are you not telling us?
Kenda is beginning to believe Robert Husher may be a viable suspect, but he also knows Mr. Husher isn't in the right frame of mind for taking a polygraph.
So we can't possibly test him in his emotional state.
Relax, Robert. I'm gonna go make a couple phone calls.
We go back to Barry Upwater.
Mr. Upwater? This is Detective Kenda. Yes, I have a Robert Husher here down at the station. I understand he used to work for you?
Oh, yeah. A sterling employee. I really liked that guy. I certainly understood his reason for leaving. I was just sorry to lose him.
Based on Kenda's conversation with Barry Upwater, the truth.
He came of his own volition. He answered the call to be a good citizen.
So, what's the story?
Upwater says he's clean. A polygraph won't be necessary.
Looks like you're free to go. Okay, thank you.
So nothing about Mr. Husher is any more than...
Detective Jackson. Yes, sir.
So we're sitting on our hands wondering what to do next when ATF calls a cleaning crew in a government-owned property in town, and they discovered a 1-pound block of TNT in the garage. Well now, that could be significant.
20 minutes later, the detectives pull up to the site of the abandoned house.
How you going? Did you find anything in the search?
Nope. In fact, this place doesn't look like it was used to manufacture bombs or anything else. Just a storage site.
but we did find a lot of dynamite.
Army issued?
Yep.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Did you check the lot number?
When the manufacturer makes the explosives, they put a lot number so it can be traced. Law enforcement, when that batch was made, who it was sold to, and where it was shipped to.
There's just one problem with the TNT found at the crime scene.
There are no numbers. They've been removed by scratching them off with a blade. So there's no way to connect them.
This guy certainly knows how to cover his tracks. Is there any test you can do?
I can send it to the chem lab for some work.
And even though the lot numbers don't match back to the Upwater explosion, the numbers from another recent incident.
An ATF agent purchased a 1-pound block of TNT in an undercover sting operation from the same lot number, and they have a person under arrest.
Okay, so where's the rest of it?
Man, that's all the dynamite I got.
Well, where did you get these?
Some guy named Bob McWalters.
Is in the United States Army, has access to untold amounts of explosives, and believes that Bob is an active black market in explosives and bomb making in Colorado Springs.
Shortly after sunrise the following morning, Colorado Springs PD and ATF converge on the mobile home where Robert McWalters lives.
It's a guy who deals in explosives and tripwires and an extra amount of caution when you approach this place.
There's a car parked here. I think he's in there.
Well, hey guys, just hang tight back here for a few until we clear the area. When it's safe to come up, I'll let you know.
You never know if this is going to be life or death or a pleasant conversation. It's the nature of police work. You prepare for the worst.
Bob, come out with your hands up now!
So at this moment, we have a group of officers and a group of ATF agents, and we are at the home of the reported TNT dealer, Bob McWalters, and we're about to make contact and find out what he's got to say for himself.
Police! Bob, come out with your hands up! Make this safer and easier for everyone! Police! On your knees. Put your hands on your head. Covering.
We are treating him as a suspect because he's been reported to us as a dealer in illegal explosives.
What about the dynamite?
Have you been stealing bomb materials from the Army and selling them to the public?
That's crazy. I've never done anything like that. I have some dynamite, but I didn't steal it, and I didn't sell it.
He says he finds a bucket near a creek bed. Whoa. That contains TNT and blasting caps. So get the bucket. He crawls under his trailer and recovers this bucket. There are fuses in the bucket, which are explosive devices. There's no TNT. What happened to the TNT, Mr. McWalters?
I think we need to continue this conversation at our house, Bob. Let's take a walk.
He's not in the comfort of his own front yard. He's in an interrogation room in a police station. He's in a jam and he knows it.
So, Bob, that bucket you showed us had fuses in it.
He's committed a felony by producing this bucket.
I'm really sorry, guys. I've been lying to you.
So how about a little truth?
I did steal TNT from the Army. I did. But I didn't have any other choice.
He says he's a young enlisted guy, he's not making enough money, his wife wants to start a family. He has heard that people sell TNT on the street to buyers.
I was just trying to make some extra cash. It was dumb.
What about the bomb that blew up the kid? It was on the news. Have you seen it? 13-year-old kid named Daniel Carson?
I don't know anything about that. Really, truly, I promise.
Has he committed a crime? Yes. Did he commit this crime? I'm not sure about that.
Stay right here.
It's not clear what motive Bob McWalters would have to actually plant the bombs outside Upwater Sanitation. So Kenda decides to do a background check.
Detective Kenda.
And that's when the investigation takes a nosedive.
Do you know how we had the black market TNT we found chemically tested against your bomb?
Yes.
Well, the results from it are in.
And?
There is no match. They come from different lots and were probably stolen by different people.
That's surprising. I mean, how common is TNT in this town? Well, I appreciate the help. Thanks. Bye.
So our McWalters connection blows off into the wind. What he removed was not what was used to build these bombs. So we are back to the beginning. Who took it?
Though Bob McWalters is still on the hook for illegal possession of explosives, all Kenda knows is that the material used in the bombing at Upwater was Army issued. In a military town likely narrowed down the list of suspects.
Anyone that lives in the city limits and even beyond could be responsible for this. We have no idea. So what is the intention of these devices? Were they built for a purpose and then simply abandoned? Are they some sort of prank that never got concluded? From our determination, Upwater Sanitation is not the intended victim of anything.
And a single lot of TNT as evidence. The case against the mysterious bomber loses momentum.
For the next few years, a lot of leads come in, but none of it turns out to be anything. This case goes cold. Cases can go cold, not because the perpetrator is a genius, because they're just lucky.
No one is more devastated by the case's lack of progress, Carson.
I can't imagine losing a child and being okay with not understanding why it happened or who did it. It wasn't one that I'm sure the homicide team forgot about.
A 13-year-old child. Very disturbing. But you do what you can do. You cannot do the impossible. You cannot create something.
Fast forward 17 years. Kenda, now a lieutenant, is in his command office when the phone rings.
Lieutenant Kenda.
Hi, this is Jeannie Smith.
At this point in time, I was the assistant district attorney, which was the number 2 person in the office.
How can I help you?
Yes, I'm calling about the Daniel Carson.
Okay.
Because we didn't have current information about it. The first call would have been to the Colorado Springs Police Department, to the homicide unit, to Joe Kenda.
I believe you investigated that case back in 1977. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes, I did.
She calls me. She said, "You're not going to believe this, but I just got a call from a defense attorney who says that she has a client who has been consumed to confess to the bombing death of Daniel Carson." I almost dropped the phone. So here we are. It is now 17 years after Daniel Carson finds this device. So this fellow, whose name is Stephen Cassidy, realizes that guilt is a terrible thing. And he decides he can no longer live with his. He comes forward and claims to be the person responsible.
Getting a call on a 17-year-old case is really rare. To put it back together.
So you've got him at your office right there?
Yes, he's here.
Can you transfer him over to one of our interview rooms and I'll be right there?
Certainly, I'll do that.
Thank you. Bye.
Moments later, Kenda is staring across the table at 36-year-old Stephen Cassidy.
So, Mr. Cassidy, what can you tell me about the bombing at Upwater back in 1977?
He says that when he was in the U.S. Army, he had an associate also in the Army named Robert Varner, and that he and Robert Varner engaged in minor robberies, thefts, and various things.
We were young and dumb. I mean, most of it was harmless. Until Charlie came along.
Who was Charlie?
Charlie Caracas. Our superior. I guess.
Is a Vietnam veteran. Caracas has bragged to them about taking human lives, that he has no compassion about killing people.
You guys want to get involved in some real none of that petty stuff you guys are used to?
Sure we do.
They want to impress him with their willingness to behave in the same way.
Yeah, so what's the plan? Got an idea to get some extra cash from his wallets.
This is the 70s. People had money. They didn't have plastic.
We're gonna do that with guns?
Of course. But we're gonna need a distraction, just in case the cops show up before we get out of there.
So Caracas says, I will build a couple of bombs based on my experience and training, and we will use these bombs to cover our...
And what's all this have to do with the sanitation company?
The disco that we were going to rob was right down the street. We figured if the cops came, we'd detonate the bombs for diversion.
This crazy plan appeals to these two kids because it contains machismo elements. We're going to build bombs. We're going to get thousands of dollars. We're going to blow people up if we have to.
That's good.
Caracas takes the bombs and he puts them under a dumpster in front of the garbage company.
They planned the robbery and did dry runs to see how the timing would work and whether or not there was going to be any impediment to carrying out their plan.
The robbery never made it past this initial planning phase.
Caracas bailed. He just didn't want to do it anymore. I think he realized that the security was much higher than we thought it was going to be.
They assume Caracas returned and recovered the devices from the dumpster.
A month later, Stephen discovered what actually happened to the two bombs they made.
He hears the bombing and where it is. And he just knows that Caracas never went back and recovered him, as some little kid blew himself up with it.
It was horrible. We all knew, but no one said anything about it.
Kenda lists of guilt pour out. But the investigation isn't over yet.
So now the next step is find the two accomplices to see if they can corroborate this story. We discover Robert Varner living in a town in Georgia. He is married. He has a daughter who is also, interestingly enough, 13 years old.
So you gonna tell me what I'm doing here?
Yes. We brought you in here to discuss the bombing incident that happened here back in 1977.
And he says, I want a lawyer. Okay, you can have a lawyer. But we'd like to show you something while you're considering what an attorney would like to call. Here's a picture of 13-year-old Daniel Carson after the bomb that you and Cassidy and... And then he really breaks down. He confirms to a T what Mr. Cassidy told us, detail by detail. And Caracas is the mastermind. He is responsible for the plan.
Steeped guilty to first-degree murder. Due to their cooperation, Varner is sentenced to 3 years in prison, and Cassidy receives 2 years of probation. But bringing the crime's ringleader, Sergeant Charles Caracas, to justice proves a more difficult task.
There was very little physical evidence that could tie Charles to the crime scene itself.
Cold cases are extremely difficult. You better have a dead bang case, or a jury is going to raise their eyebrow.
Sergeant Charles Caracas was charged, but he wasn't convicted.
It's a horrible ending, but at least it's an ending.
The answers aren't always easy. The answers aren't always comforting. But they're answers. And now and why and who was involved, it gives them a piece of a closure.
Daniel Carson lost his life at age 13, and nobody's ever going to pay the price for that. And it pains me, and their family continues to suffer. You will never get over the loss of a child. It's not the way of things. Your children are not the other way around.
2 murder investigations from the case files of Lieutenant Joe Kenda. First, an unidentified man flees a shootout.
He still is holding a handgun, and his finger is in the trigger.
Can the victim's past lead Kenda to his killer?
The last time his roommate saw him, he had some valuable coins.
He is shocked that an average person never sees things like this.
He's a beloved mother of 5.
They started telling me, there's a dead girl lying in your bedroom.
Oh my God.
What looks like a suicide leaves Kenda with doubts.
She hated guns. We couldn't believe it.
Nothing about this seems right to me. And now our mission is to find out what he has to say for himself. I always assess people's body language. They slump their shoulders. They look at the floor. They have the distinct of a guilty person.
On a cold January morning, EMT partners Dave Marquez and James Bell have pulled into a local gas station.
Come on, Dave, boy, let's go. It's getting cold in here.
You're funny.
Medic 34, we have a report of an unconscious male bleeding outside in the 200 block of North Union Boulevard.
Well, it's a typical day for them, and all of a sudden they hear the call come over the radio. Come on, we got a call. We gotta go. 10-4.
So they stop what they're doing and proceed to the 200 block of North Union Boulevard.
What's interesting is that this isn't the type of crime that you would see in broad daylight. So I imagine for the people who came across the victim, there was a lot of curiosity about what was going on.
Handgun, and his finger is in the trigger. And so they feel like they need to take care of that situation before they're able to administer any aid to this person.
Get everybody back.
Is it the kind of thing where maybe he's going to roll over, and use that weapon?
He does appear to have some signs of life, and even some kind of twitching reaction could cause a discharge of the approach him with a lot of caution.
Across town, Lieutenant Joe Kenda is in the middle of renewing his handgun qualifications.
The requirement on the police department was you had to qualify with your pistol once a month. So you would go to a police range and you would fire your weapon bitterly cold in January. But the PD has policies in place. If it's your time to shoot and it's 20 below zero, you better be at the range because that's where you're supposed to be.
Excuse me, Lieutenant. Phone call just came in. They're requesting you on Union Boulevard. There's been some kind of shooting. Okay, thanks.
I was at the range.
Gotta go.
All right, next time.
And I left. turning the heater in the car onto full blast and then driving over to the scene.
Hey, Lieutenant.
Hey, Tammy. So what do we got?
Apparently it was a pretty wild scene. Medics found the man twitching on the curb, and he had a gun in his hand.
EMTs, but we also train them for crime scenes, not to move things unless they're absolutely necessary. It's crucial that he get that gun away from him.
It was a little dicey, but they were able to get the weapon away without it discharging.
What do we know about the victim?
Not much. He didn't have ID on him.
The officers at the scene, they report that there was a Caucasian male suffering at least one gunshot wound to the chest. He's taken to Memorial Hospital, and he's pronounced DOA.
The victim may be gone, but Kenda has little trouble determining the spot where EMTs found him.
He's collapsed because of the temperature of the blood.
And it is loaded.
The gun has 6 live Remington Peters .357 Magnum hollow point bullets loaded in the cylinder.
Has he been fired?
As to why it hasn't been fired, I don't have any idea. You have a reasonable assumption to believe that our man here got himself into a gunfight, and he's obviously the loser. He never got a round off, so maybe he's not very good at gunfights.
Serial number, see if we can find out?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
The serial number is always run through the system to determine if there is ownership. There is a firearms transaction record that is available, so we're hopeful what we can learn about this individual.
While his team checks the gun serial number, Kenda and Detective Skip Arms head to Memorial Hospital to get a first-hand look at the victim.
Hello, detectives. Hey, Doc.
Yes. He has a gunshot wound in the right side of the chest at an angle. He's shot in the heart, or in the aorta at least, which is an absolute fatal shot. There's no stippling or tattooing, no powder, so it probably some distance from where his shooter was standing.
But actually, he's been shot twice. Let me flip him over. So the second round goes into his shoulder and enters into the chest cavity as well.
The doctor points out an entrance gunshot wound, and his... It's possible he takes the first shot in the chest, and he runs from that shot and is shot again. But did he get shot again in 0.5 seconds, or did he get shot again in a minute?
Receive these wounds.
The doctor didn't believe that the individual would have been able to travel very far before collapsing. So this is something that had to have happened fairly close by to where he was found.
But Kenda's questions about where the shooting occurred can wait. First, he and Detective Arms must determine who is this person.
Let's get a picture of him. Or maybe somebody will recognize him, even the way he looks. Guys, there's a camera right here. Can we tilt his head? All right, thanks, Doc.
Yep, good luck, man.
Do me a favor. Call down the station and have them get a description of this guy out to the public.
Will do. And hopefully they finish tracing the serial number on that gun.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
Hey, I was just looking for you.
In 1987, my wife was employed at Memorial Hospital, so she was working that day.
I'll see you later.
Hi, Kathy.
Hi, Skip. Bye, Skip.
Just got off the phone with the station. Turns out the gun that our victim was holding is registered to a Steve Grove.
All right, let's go see if we can find an address for him.
Well, is that Stephen Grove laying in the hospital morgue, or is it somebody else?
Using the informant, Kenda and Arms head out, hoping they finally identified their victim.
We go over to the address, and we're hoping at that point that we can find somebody who knows who Steve Grove is and tell us something about him.
With the CFPD?
You know, gentlemen,
What's going on?
We've got a little problem, Mr. Grove.
I said, we have a man at Memorial Hospital who's been shot to death. He has your gun in his hand. So we're investigating a death of a nurse face down with this gun in his hand. We find the registered owner to be very much alive. He has some explaining to do.
Listen, I have an unidentified dead guy with your fully loaded gun in his hand. Do you mind telling me why that is?
Yeah, my gun was ripped off last week.
Your gun was stolen. Really?
Yeah.
The standard reply to why does this bad guy have your gun is the gun is stolen. You're convenient, Mr. Grove.
Yeah, I got the police report and everything if you'd like to see it.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Here you go.
And it's one of our tear sheets. I recognize it immediately.
See, it says right there it was stolen.
Okay, I see it. Take it easy.
So Mr. Excuse turns out to be an excellent excuse. He didn't have the gun. A burglar had the gun. So that leads to the question, is Mr. X, among his other talents, a burglar?
Once we were comfortable that it was in fact a legitimate theft of the gun, we wanted to try to figure out if perhaps he might recognize who the burglar was.
I got a picture I want to show you. I want you to tell me before I do, I want to warn you. It's not an easy one to look at. Okay?
Okay. Man, that's not pretty.
You recognize the guy?
No. Not at all.
Okay, thank you. So he's a burglar. And Mr. Grove has no clue who he is.
The out until Kenda receives a much welcome tip.
Lieutenant Kenda.
We got a telephone call from a woman who was an apartment manager, and based on the initial information that had been put out to the public for assistance, she thought she recognized the description as to somebody she knew.
I'll write this down. What's Scott Fulbright and his roommate Daryl Brosa, E-R-O-S-A.
At a residence just east of downtown, Kenda hopes this latest lead produces better results.
Do you know someone named Scott Fulbright?
Yeah, that's my roommate. See in some kind of trouble?
I think it'd be best.
Sorry about the mess. We don't have people over very often.
We tell him we are investigating a shooting incident in which we believe that Scott Fulbright is potentially the victim of multiple gunshot wounds that has caused his death.
I have a picture I want you to take a look at.
Yeah.
Scott Fulbright is Mr. X.
What happened to him?
Well, that's what we're trying to find out. Can you tell us about him?
I haven't known him for very long.
According to Daryl Brosa, Scott Fulbright is a 23-year-old building custodian from Texas.
He says that he met him. He was out hiking one day. Scott Fulbright newly arrived in the area, needed a place to stay. They kind of hit it off.
Daryl told us that Scott be with his job, and Daryl offered up to let Scott live with him.
The first thing you asked is if he was in any trouble. Why would you ask that?
Oh, man. Scott was a great guy, but as I got to know him a little better, I realized he'd had some money problems. He didn't always do the right thing.
Daryl was able to tell the police that Scott had been involved in burglaries, that he may die, that he thought he was originally.
You ever see him with a gun?
Yeah, just recently. He was sitting right over there cleaning it. What is that, man?
What do you think it is? It's a gun. Check it out.
What the hell, dude? Get that out of here.
Can you describe it?
It was a big revolver, you know? Black with wood grips on it.
You know, both the gun that we found at the scene, as well as what was described by Steve Grove in his theft.
Did he commit any of the crimes around here?
Yeah. I was actually with him for one of them.
You were with him?
Yeah, but I had no idea what he was up to. We were just in my car, and he asked me to wait for him while he ran into this guy's house. When he came out, he had all these coins on him.
Burglar is like a magnet. You could hit the jackpot and find that rare coin that some person has that is extremely valuable.
And what'd you say when you saw these coins?
I didn't know what to say.
This is good. Hey, just hang here. I'm just going to run in and talk to him. 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
All right, hurry up.
Let's go. Come on.
Where'd you get those?
I took them.
You took them?
Yeah, I need it more than he did. Drive, come on.
But that's why I was trying to get him to move out. I swear to you, I had no idea he was going to steal those coins.
Well, I appreciate your help.
Yes, sir.
We'll let ourselves off.
So now our hero has a gun. Maybe now he's going to be an armed robber.
On a hunch, Kenda reaches out to dispatch to see if there's recently been any armed robberies in the area.
Yes, Lieutenant. We've got officers right now investigating an armed robbery at a precious metals dealer on North Union Boulevard. It happened earlier today.
Do you happen to know if they deal in rare coins?
Affirmative.
10-4, Kenda out. All right, let's go.
That he's going to walk in this business with a very large gun, and he's going to scare everybody to death, and he's going to get money. This certainly has our interest. We have finally identified our victim. He is Scott Fulbright. We know he are investigating, as we speak, an armed robbery of a gold, silver, and rare coin dealer in this same neighborhood. Is Fulbright our man? Well, let's go see. This place is only a couple of blocks away from where Mr. X is found. There's a guy coming out emptying the trash.
How you doing? I'm Lieutenant Kenda.
All right.
Do you work here?
Oh, yeah.
Come in and ask a few questions.
Yeah, sure.
When Kenda enters the coin shop, he's surprised to find no overt signs that a robbery has recently transpired.
Nothing appears to be out of place. Nothing appears to be broken. The cases are all intact. Everything looks quite normal.
So, did you happen to get a good look at this guy?
Yes.
We have a photograph of your robbery suspect.
That's him. That's him. Arthur, come here, quick. Take a look. Isn't that the guy who was in here?
Yeah, that's the guy.
Owner David Bayuk and employee Arthur Jorgensen explained that around 11 a.m., David pulled a gun on a would-be robber.
Did I do that? I didn't even know I shot him.
It's clear to me from his face he had no idea that the armed robber was even hurt.
Well, most business owners have a weapon nearby that they can get to in the event of a robbery. They were defending themselves, shots were fired, and they had actually hit the suspect.
Well, before we go any further, I'm going to have to advise you of your rights. Because there's a death involved, there's a possibility the charges can be filed.
Anytime anybody dies violently dead, their potential exists for felony criminal charges. So we advise David and his partner both of their rights.
But we really have to try to pin down what occurred to see if we have somebody that's going to be charged with murder, or is this going to be basically a justified shooting because it was in self-defense?
That's all right. We'll talk.
Are you sure about that? Yes. Let's talk over here.
So we independently tell us the details of what happened when Scott Fulbright entered this business.
Tell me what happened here.
Well, I was opening up just like any other day. So this guy comes in and just immediately just doesn't feel right about him, you know.
David explains that he just looks like a kind of a shady character. And it made me nervous.
Can we help you today?
He's sort of casing out the place, kind of wandering around, and I look over for a second. The next thing I know,
give me the money!
Give me the money! Now, armed robbers are usually not violent. They want to threaten you, frighten you into giving them what they want. In this case, he wants the money back. There's no money!
I keep a gun in my fist, so I reach over for
Cobra 2-inch 38 caliber revolver. He's not that familiar with him, but he believes his partner is about to die.
There's no money! There's no money!
In his excitement, he has an accidental discharge. Fortunately for his partner, and fortunately for him, Mr. Fulbright didn't start shooting.
He's aiming his gun at me, and I fired 2 shots.
There's no blood in the store, because of course he's wearing a heavy coat, so any blood's contained in his clothing. But David doesn't know if he hit him or not. He doesn't think he did. Well, now he knows he not only hit him, he killed him.
Hearing David's description of the shooting, Kenda now understands the odd placement of the wounds found on Scott's body.
If rounds are fired in rapid succession, sometimes just the initial gunshot is going to contribute to spinning a body around. So that would be consistent of the suspect turning to leave in an effort to get away.
This is awful. Feel sick.
We'll stay in touch to let you know what's happening. Thank you.
I'm sure that David and Arthur wake up every day. This isn't something we wanted to do. It'd be a heavy, heavy burden on your heart to know that you have taken someone's life. But in that instance, you do what you think is right to protect yourself.
Once this investigation was completed, we presented to the district attorney's office for their review. It was their determination that this was self-defense. Wherever filed against David for his actions in taking the life of Scott Fulbright.
Mr. Fulbright engages in armed robbery, which by nature is a dangerous business. He found out how dangerous.
Coming up, a single gunshot takes an innocent life, and a minute piece of evidence holds the key to unlocking a mysterious murder.
This is an absolute game changer. What we suspect is true.
After working through an action-packed Halloween weekend, Lieutenant Kenda is finally relaxing at home, hoping for a chance to watch the 11 o'clock news.
Look forward to is the wrap-up of the Halloween weekend, because everybody's wearing a mask, everybody robs everybody else. You're concerned about little kids out walking down the street. So I'm watching the end of the news, and the phone call comes.
It's Kenda.
They have a shooting victim, and I'm off to work.
Hey, Lieutenant.
How you doing? So what we got?
Got a female victim with a gunshot wound to the head.
Police identify the victim as 29-year-old Tina Lovato, a dedicated mother of 5.
Appears to be a possible suicide. When I got here, there were 2 guys standing over. Looks like they know her.
Let's go take a look.
Sir.
In the front living room, Kenda gets his first look at the deceased.
There's no question she's been shot in the head. There's a great deal of hemorrhage where it's a mess. There's an effect that happens to the human eyes and a human head. It's called raccoon vacuum. You introduce a supersonic projectile into that vacuum. It results in an implosion. The eyes bulge, hence the expression raccooning.
This raccooning effect tells us that the weapon had to be close proximity to the skin or the muzzle. There's a Ruger Red Hawk 357 Magnum on the scene in the immediate vicinity of the victim, so it appears that she shot herself.
To trace blood evidence and do a GSR test as well.
Yes, sir.
What's this? I Heart Darren. What are the names of the guys that are possible witnesses?
Darren Carroll and Burton Wan.
Darren Carroll, the man standing outside, is involved romantically with this victim. He was Foster's rock.
Time to talk to these guys.
Lieutenant, one thing about Darren, he has some blood spatter on him.
Most likely the victim's blood. So he is, at a minimum, a close eyewitness.
Any information on the other guy?
Yes, sir. Bert is her cousin.
I want to talk to the family member first.
Yes, sir.
Bert is related to the victim, and Darren is apparently in love with the victim.
Lieutenant Kenda, sorry about what happened to your cousin.
This is rough. I was really close to Tina. We actually grew up kind of rough because our mom passed away, and so my dad had her raises. She started a young family, and she just did the best she could to raise her kids. She was a good person.
She was really upset. I should have seen this coming. Her brother just went to prison, and her boyfriend Darren and I, we just wanted to cheer her up.
That was so much fun.
Bert says they all got pretty drunk. And once they got home from the bar, that Tina and Darren started having an argument when they were together in the next room. So he decides he better look in on him and see that everything's okay. He sees them talking quietly and kissing. He decides that, well, whatever it was, it certainly isn't an issue now.
So I just walked away. That's when I heard a gunshot.
Over her.
Oh my God. What happened? He shot himself.
Oh my God. I didn't know what to do. I was in shock. So I just ran and called 911.
Now we know that Darren was in the room alone with the victim when the shot was fired.
Thank you.
So now our mission is to talk to Darren and find out what he has to say for himself.
Lieutenant Kenda, sorry about what happened. I understand you and Tina were dating.
I met Tina when we were about 12 years old. We had maintained a relationship, as far as friends, all through going through school, and then connected into a physical relationship, and her and her kids moved down to live with me in Colorado Springs. Our relationship was going really good.
So what happened here tonight?
Herself. Lately, we knew she was really depressed.
Darren pretty much supports what Bert says. She'd been very depressed. They thought to go out and have a few drinks and she'd feel better.
That was
when they finally came back from the bar,
come on, let's go to bed.
They got in a little bit of an argument.
We'd had a lot to drink already. She wanted to go back out again. I tell her I had to.
Come on, Darian, let's go to another bar or something. I want to go
out to another bar.
I got mad.
Fine, you want to go? Go. Just leave me alone, huh? Get out of here.
And I took my jacket off, and I had a .357 revolver that I always had in a shoulder holster.
Darren admits that he carries a gun.
Okay, I'm sorry, babe. I'm sorry. Come here.
She said, I'm sorry. And she hugged me, and
Darren tells Kenda that he believes everything is fine, when suddenly, Tina pulled the gun from his exposed shoulder holster.
He says he realizes what she intends to do. He tries to bear hug her from behind
Stop it, Kenda, stop!
to gain control of the weapon.
Stop!
She pulls the trigger, shoots herself in the head, and falls to the floor. And he says that's how he gets blood all over him.
I tried to stop her. I couldn't.
I'm very sorry. I understand how difficult this must be.
Though Darren Carroll seems genuinely distraught, Kenda's not sure the incident played out exactly the way it's been described.
How does it go from an evening out drinking and running around to coming home something minor and then kissing and making up and then killing yourself? I'm not comfortable with this at all.
With autopsy results not due until later in the morning, Kenda decides to seek out additional information about Tina.
Bert Luan has told us that he has informed the family and that the family is gathered at Robert Salazar's house, which is Tina's brother, and they are all aware of her death, so we at least do not have to make...
Once inside the home, it's clear to Kenda that Tina's family is taking her death extremely hard.
Lieutenant Kenda?
Yes.
I'm Tina's brother, Robert. My cousin Bert told me you guys might be coming by. Listen, can we maybe talk in the kitchen?
Yeah, sure.
I left another detective there with the family, so Robert and I now have this opportunity.
All this happened. What was it you wanted to tell me?
It's just this whole thing, Bert calling me on the phone telling me that Tina killed herself. There's no way she would have done that.
Well, Robert, this investigation has just taken a 180-degree turn, now hasn't it? So we're going into this case initially, finding two people standing over a dead girl. Both believe that she's committed suicide, and we're now encountering her brother who said that's not even possible and says he knows why.
And what makes you so sure that Tina wouldn't have shot herself?
First and foremost, her kids. She loved her kids. She would never leave them.
Tina, our family raised without our mother. She would never do that to her 5 kids. She loved her kids so much.
There's something else I think you should know.
What's that?
Tina's afraid of guns. She wouldn't even pick one up, let alone shoot herself.
And I say, can you explain to me Tina's relationship with Darren Carroll?
Oh, how do I put this? Tina, just in guys.
He goes on to explain that his sister tends to be attracted to people who turn out to be emotionally abusive and verbally abusive. And Darren is another example. He could be insanely jealous of her if they were out in public.
Never really liked him.
The first time I met him, they had came up to Denver, and my sister wanted to go out dancing, and we're dancing, and he just kept dancing with her, so it was like, it threw a vibe off that I didn't like at all, so really didn't care for the guy.
But Tina didn't do this. She didn't kill herself. Somebody killed her.
Robert Salazar is Tina's brother. He has a feeling and an impression of her that he thinks is accurate. Could it also be that Tina, in a fit of depression, kills herself? Could still be true?
Well, thank you, Robert. It's been very helpful. Again, I'm very sorry for your loss. I'll be in touch.
So we're still in a position of not knowing. We need hard evidence to tell us what happened to Tina Lovato. That I hope to gain at an autopsy.
Later that morning, Kenda meets with the coroner at the morgue.
The doctor has already examined her to me is an absolute game changer.
Come take a look at this. The gunshot wound is 5 centimeters off the center line of the lower jaw. It has an imperfect seal, and it was at close range.
Right. What he means by that is there is some degree of distance between the end of the muzzle and the flesh itself on her head. In self-inflicted wounds, people pray to make certain that they're going to die.
It's not what I typically see in cases of suicide.
Right.
Do we know if she was right or left-handed?
Yeah, her family told one of my detectives that she's right-handed. Why?
We found traces of blood spatter in the palm of her right hand.
Now, it would be impossible for Tina Lovato to be holding a gun and allowing blood spatter to somehow magically pass through the grip and reach her palm undisturbed. Beyond any doubt, did not have a gun in her hand when she was shot. If it wasn't in her hand, she didn't shoot. Somebody else did.
The following morning, Kenda brings Tina's boyfriend, Darren Carroll, down to the station for a second, more pointed conversation.
Hello again, Mr. Carroll.
Those body language initially? What are you doing in here that indicates your level of involvement? Because people unconsciously do it. And his appearance is very damning. Everything about him says, I killed Tina Lovato.
All right, here's the deal, Darren. We have blood evidence that proves there's no way Tina could have shot herself.
I don't know how that happened.
Then we start hitting him with some of the conflicting evidence. We start getting those typical answers you almost see out of a 5-year-old when you ask them, hey, who broke this? I don't know. You can't explain it, so it becomes an I don't know.
I keep pressing the point with him. I just keep at him and at him and at him.
Darren, we found out that Tina was terribly afraid of guns. Nothing of what you've said works.
I didn't mean it was an accident.
And he finally just stops everything, and he starts to cry.
Well, like I said before, Tina and I were arguing about going back out to another bar again.
And that's all? You weren't fighting about anything else?
Yeah, no, I mean, I wasn't too happy. Before, when we went out, guys would always look at her and try to hit on her and come on to her and stuff, and then I just got sick of it, you know?
Behavior that men engage in who are emotionally abusive. Exactly the behavior that Robert Salazar said he was aware of.
We made up when we started kissing.
Can we please go out? Come on, please.
All right, you want to go? Come on, let's go. But I'm going to tell you, the next guy that looks at me funny or that tries to...
That away.
So that's how the gun gets introduced.
Stop. Put your hand off.
Put it away. Stop. Put this away.
They apparently struggle over the possession of it.
Stop it! Let go! Stop!
We don't know why, but they wind up in a struggle over it. Maybe she wants to put it away. What kind of sense does it make to have a physical confrontation in close proximity to each other over a loaded gun? What's going to happen here?
Stop it! Put your hand stop!
Bang is what's going to happen.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
The next thing that I remember was that I heard the gun. I was behind her. To my face was right here, and right here her hair flew up when that gunshot went off.
Oh my God. Tina.
I laid her down on the carpet, and it was like blood was just coming. I didn't know where it was coming from, so I started grabbing her head all around, trying to find out where the hole was at. I wanted to put my finger in there and stop the bleeding. I had recollection of having the gun, in my hand, and but I don't have the recollection of pulling the trigger. It was like when I heard the gunshot, it was like I came into a whole different realm, I guess.
It was an accident. You gotta understand, okay? I didn't mean for this to happen.
Of course you didn't, Darren.
I told him, Darren, it doesn't matter how sorry you are, how little you meant it. You recklessly were in possession and the handling of a firearm. And Tina Lovato, you're responsible for this death. You, not her, not the man on the moon, just you.
After much consideration, Darren Carroll accepts a plea bargain and is sentenced to 6 years in prison for reckless manslaughter. while he continues to insist Tina's death was accidental, remain unconvinced.
He had told Tina, we're not going out, and my sister, as a grown woman, says, well, then I'm going out, and he probably shot her. He didn't have no right to take her from us. No right.
I understand the family not accepting what happened. I'd be angry if I was in their position too. Sorry is not a strong enough word, but I don't know how else to say it, is that I am sorry, family.
I don't believe he intentionally killed her. I think it was an act of stupidity that happened in a matter of less than a minute. But it certainly was reckless, and Darren Carroll is forced to live with the fact he caused Tina Lovato's death for the rest of his days.